So in today's video, we're going to be giving you the top 10 loadouts you can be using right now in Call of Duty Warzone. We're also going to be going over some statistics and how you can look at and set up these statistics yourself so that you're not misled on what to actually believe when it comes to the current meta. Now, nothing is really in any particular order because I always recommend use what's most comfortable to you, because if you're not comfortable, you're not going to be pushing your enemies and you're not going to be getting more eliminations, which is kind of the point. So let's look at these stats and get you these top loadouts. All right, so we're in Community. This is kind of what I use in order to set up these loadouts and things like that, and just to kind of check all the stats. Community does get all their base stats from True Game Data, so if that's what you're looking at, True Game Data is a great site as well, but they just tend to be a little slow when it comes to the updates now and things like that. But Community has really been great. This is not an ad. I just wanted to put that out there. So when looking at all these stats, what is most important? When it comes to the assault rifles, we're looking at about the 15-meter mark. That's your typical range when it comes to a normal gunfight. Now, sure, if you're playing more big map, you're probably looking maybe 60 meters is probably a little bit better in terms of what you're looking at there. But a lot of the times, if you're playing Resurgence, 50 meters is a pretty good standard point. Now, what you want to do here, if you want to set these up yourself, go to Community, go to the website, whatever website you are on, go to their stat checker or stat comparator, and just click on Warzone. Okay, let's get this into a window you can actually see. So here's what you kind of want to do. Well, you want to make sure that you have these combination shots on to really kind of see what the standard TTK or base TTK of a weapon is going to actually be. This is the best way to kind of check that. Now, you can go in there and you can customize it to hit like only one headshot and the rest of them stomach shots or things like that, but combination shots is going to be your best bet when it comes to those things. Now, if you want to go with 100% accuracy, you hit every shot, this is going to be the standard TTK. If you want to maybe go to 75% accuracy, that's going to be standard there. For 75% accuracy, you're hitting 75% of your shots. Same with 50. Now, if you want to see what the head TTK is, just headshots, you can test that here. Chest is probably your next best option after combination shots, but stomach, chest, you can do all of those different things. Now, whenever I post a loadout video or things like that, and somebody comes back to me and says, what do you mean? This has a way faster TTK than just this amount. Normally what they are doing is they are clicking on the headshots, and that's going to be your fastest TTK out of all the weapons. That's just how it works. If you're all hitting all headshots, number one, you're probably hacking. Number two, that's going to be the fastest TTK because that's the most damage and the best damage multipliers. So we're using combination shots. That's going to give you the most accurate TTK in terms of how the game actually plays. Now, I'm going to leave it on 100% accuracy. 75 is probably a really solid option as well, but 100% accuracy, we're going to just test it that way with the combination shots on. Okay, so let's take a look at all of these TTKs. Are we going from 0 to 10 meters? No. 10 meters to 40 meters. This is probably more realistic on Resurgence. They don't have a 50 meters option, so we're going to take it all the way up to about 40 to 80 meters here. So your number one option right now is going to be the XM4. That's a 685 millisecond TTK. Your number two option is the CR56 AMAX. Then we have the Merrick 556. Then we have the Kilo. Then we have the GPR 91 and the Cypher 91. That's all fine and dandy. TTK is not always the deciding factor, but it does help quite a bit because we know the XM4, the Merrick 556, and the Kilo are all really easy to control. The Ames 85 is great, but the TTK is just really not that great. So you kind of have to weigh it like that as well. XM4, great. AMAX, harder to control the recoil, so I don't know that it's actually number two overall in terms of just ease of use. Kilo, the numeric 556 is great as well. So then we go down to handling. ADS speed, how fast can you aim down sight? The Merrick and the Kilo are your fastest ADS, and they're really accurate. So that's another plus for these two. That kind of moves them up my list. XM4, not terrible, but not the best either. It's quite far off when it comes to the ADS speed. Sprint to fire, same here. These are all relatively close together, so not terrible. Obviously the XM4 is really slow, but you can always bump that up with different attachments, right? So Cypher 91 is your fastest. Cypher 91 does pretty well in terms of damage also, so keep that in mind. Kilo 141, Merrick 556, GPR, all these are great. Reload speed, if that's something that really matters to you, the Kilo is a great option. So the Kilo is just overall so far a really good option. It's accurate, it's got a pretty fast ADS speed. The TTK is relatively fast right here at 716 milliseconds at fast 40 meters. You go to 10 meters to 40 meters right here, it's number three also. That's got a really fast TTK, so it's not bad at all. Then you got the hit scan range, which is how much bullet velocity most likely that this weapon has. The XM4, really solid. Fire rate right here, very fast. The higher it is, the better it is. Those kinds of things, man, all those things matter, especially when it comes to SMGs, which we'll get into right now. So let's go to the SMGs. We're looking at about 0 to 10 meters here. 10 meters to 40 meters is not a realistic option strictly because because why would you look at it 10 to 40 meters? 15 I get, which you can go check right up here. Just drag your thing over here to 15 and see how it is. But everything gets kind of messy in here at 15 to 12 meters. So we're going to keep everything 12 meters or less, and that's going to be right in this area. So TR2 with a conversion kit, that's number one when it comes to TTK. Now TTK does weights itself a little bit more in my opinion when it comes to SMGs, because you're dealing with smaller distance, things like that. Movement speed does help a lot, but smaller distance, your gunfights are happening a lot closer, easier to hit your targets, those kinds of things. So TTK does play a bigger role in my opinion in the SMG category. The TR2 508, Compact 92 550, the Striker 558, the Dresden is all the way down here past the Striker when it comes to TTK 560. Now you're probably going to go the Dresden over the Strikers just strictly because of movement speed and usability and things like that. C9 574, SOG 594. That's been the same for a while. The SOG is really consistent. Same with the C9. The C9 has actually dropped a little bit from the past update. So again, you're doing the combination shots, headshots. I get a lot of this. You actually get a 339 with the TR2. Well, that's headshots only, bud. Okay, I get that a lot, but especially with the 525, you're just looking at 10 to 40 meters. That's at 15 meters. You have the TR2 hitting a 424. I got that on a comment the other day. Like, that's headshots only, brother. Chest, not bad, 495, but that's chest. Combination shots, you're looking at about a 508. That's a solid TTK. If you can get that under 600 millisecond TTK, anything under that is really solid. Jackal PDW's got about a 616. That's not the greatest, but it does have great movement. So, you know, you just gotta kind of take those factors into it. Handling, this is really important as well. ADS speed, Compact 92, SOG, TR2. These are all pretty standard. Striker's gonna be your pretty rough one in terms of ADS speed, but everything else, sprint to fire, Striker's number 2, reload speed, Striker's number 2, bullet velocity, Striker's number 3, Dresden's number 2, hit scan range, Striker's number 3, RPM, Striker's all the way kind of down here. So the rate of fire doesn't really matter that much in terms of SMGs. The bullet velocity doesn't really matter that much. So that's not weighted. I don't really take that into account. Sprint speed, a little slow for the Striker. Movement speed, Striker's last. Crouch movement, Striker's last. ADS, Striker's last. So you kind of got to look at all those, but that mobility is really important when it comes to SMGs, right? So you got to kind of look at that as well. Recoil though, Striker's first. Horizontal recoil, Striker's third. Vertical recoil, Striker's last. So you just kind of got to go through all those kinds of things, man. It really does matter in terms of that. Now look, I've got the 60 round mag on the Striker. If I go change the Striker build from a 60 round drum to the 48 round mag, let's apply that. Now let's go look at the handling and mobility now for the Striker. It's a little bit better. The movement, a little bit better. Still not great. Striker still last. So those kinds of things matter as well. So you just kind of got to take all this into account when building out your loadouts and checking TKs and then commenting and things like that in terms of, hey, well, this TTK looks like it has a 400 millisecond TTK. That's probably headshots only. Just make sure you double check those kinds of things. But you can also go in here, find things, send them to me in the Discord. Just tag me in Discord, links in the bio or the links down in the description. Come to the Discord, tag me. Hey, dude, may have found a secret meta. Check this out. Rival 9, whatever, all those kinds of things. Come check those out, send them to me, tag them, and maybe I'll do a video on them, those kinds of things. So keep that in mind. All right, so let's go ahead and give you these loadouts right here. So we'll start out with our 6th pick. We were only able to do 6 inside of COD Unity, so we're gonna do 6 right here. For the Cypher 91, we're rocking mono suppressor for sure. I like the long barrel here, the vertical foregrip, I like the extended mag too, and I like the recoil springs. The recoil springs are great. If you want an optic on here, take off the recoil springs, maybe put the Volsky reflex optic on here. That's the one that I love. Then we're using the SOG. For the SOG, I'm rocking the ported compensator muzzle. I like the long barrel here. Then we're running the Ranger foregrip for a little bit more movement, extended mag 2, and then I like the balanced stock here. For the Cypher, pretty easy to control when it comes to the recoil. That's why I have the mono suppressor on here. If you have a little bit more trouble with the recoil control, then definitely maybe switch out that mono suppressor for something like the ported compensator or the compensator muzzle. And of course we have the SOG. Like I said, very reliable, 594 TTK, very solid option. Next we have the GPR 91 with the C9. GPR 91 Volsky reflex optic is one it's just so clean to me. I like the ported compensator muzzle here. Feel free to put on the mono for a little better TTK, especially at distance. Reinforced barrel here, the vertical foregrip for more recoil control, and then we're looking at the extended mag 2. The bullet velo is already over 1,000, so it's got a pretty good bullet velo on it. I don't mind it at all. But the GPR 91 is a great option. Absolutely love this thing. And then of course the C9 still reigns supreme. Still love the C9. still fun. For that C9, I'm rocking the long barrel here. Then I'm rocking the extended mag 1 or extended mag 2, just depends on if you want some movement or not. Commando grip here, the no stock because you don't get any kind of recoil penalty. Then we're rocking the recoil springs for a little bit more recoil control. Next, we have the Kilo and the Dresden 9mm or the MP40. For the Kilo, I'm rocking mono suppressor. I'm rocking no optic on this thing. This thing is fantastic iron sights. I like the reinforced barrel here, the vertical foregrip, extended mag 2, and the recoil springs for sure. Feel free to put the overpressured rounds on here if you don't need the recoil springs, but I just absolutely love this build. It already has a 1300 millisecond bullet velo. Feels so good, or meters per second bullet velo. This thing is so much fun to run. And of course the Dresden is really fun to use. Fire rate's a little slow, so that's kind of why I have it at number 3, but it's really good, man. Like there's like all of these the top 10 SMGs really kind of could be interchangeable. It just depends on your play style, to be honest. For that Dresden, we're rocking the compensator muzzle, the long barrel, the extended mag 1. I like the commando grip here, and the light stock. Light stock gives you insane movement speed. Just a lot of fun to run, man. Next up, we have the brand new Merrick 556 paired with that Striker. I love the Striker, man. I just can't get enough of the Striker. For the Merrick 556, I like the Volsky reflex optic. I like the compensator muzzle here. Maybe in the mono suppressor if you want. If you don't have any trouble controlling the recoil, completely up to you there. Reinforced barrel gives a huge buff to the damage range and bullet velocity. I like the vertical foregrip, obviously honing in that horizontal recoil control. And then the extended mag 2, most likely, is what we're going to run here with the 60 round mag. So just insanely good, insanely accurate, man. I did not expect the Merrick to be this good, man. I'm not gonna lie. Then of course we have the Striker. Now I prefer this in tac stance, and the ADS, this kind of gets rid of that ADS speed penalty that we talked about in the stats earlier, because it takes way less time to ADS when you're in tac stance, and it's just a cleaner iron sight. You can see on both sides of the weapon instead of, I don't know. You guys let me know what you guys think about that. I like tac stance quite a bit. I even used it on the TR2 this week. I just really enjoyed it. For the Striker, I'm rocking the Shadow Strike Suppressor S muzzle. I like the Jack slash underbarrel, 48 round mag, the Chimera laser light, and high grain rounds. This really is a very solid option. Next, we have the AMAX and the Compact 92. Now, the AMAX, like I said, is a little bit harder to control in terms of recoil. And then we have the Compact 92, which is kind of the same way. It takes a little bit more skill to use, but the AMAX is a lot of fun. We're using the ported compensator muzzle here. I like the long barrel. You can even use the reinforced if you want. To be honest, I like the reinforced as well. Vertical foregrip, the extended mag 2, and the recoil springs. This gives you a huge buff to the horizontal and vertical recoil control. We'll show you this here in the firing range. But like I said, man, the reinforced is great. I like the iron sights of the long barrel, I think, a little bit better. It just feels a little bit smoother in my opinion, but to each their own there. I'll show you the long barrel here on this and just kind of show you what it looks like. I just kind of like the long barrel a little bit more in terms of iron sights. That does make a difference in my opinion. Completely up to you guys there. And then of course that compact is just so nasty and just spits out bullets. So this is probably better for a little bit more duo solos, but again, the movement is insane on it too. So for the compact, I'm rocking that ported compensator muzzle. I like the long barrel here, the extended mag 2, no stock, and then we have the recoil springs on here as well. Next, this is a really good loadout, man. The TR2 paired with the XM4, so much fun. The TR2 rocking the ported compensator muzzle. I like the Ranger foregrip here, the full auto extended mag, the light stock, and then you want that TR2 CQB auto conversion kit, turning the TR2 marksman rifle into that SMG. This thing's got pretty solid movement. The TTK is incredible. Not a lot to beat in this right now. This TR2 is great. And then of course the XM4. I like the Volsky on this thing. Very little recoil, dude. It is way better now that they buffed it again. It just feels incredible. For that XM4, we're rocking the Volsky reflex optic. I like the ported compensator muzzle here, the reinforced barrel, the extended mag 2, and I like the buffer weight stock here for sure. This does do a little bit better than the recoil springs, so I like the buffer weight stock a little bit better than the recoil springs. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit that noty bell. If you want to drop me your loadout that you like, overall #1 right now, go to the Discord, links in the description or in the bio. Go check it out. Tag me in the Discord, drop your loadout. We'll see you in the next one.